Hello, everybody! Welcome back to another episode of the Unturned podcast. I'm your host, cucuycharles, and we're joined once again by the Night Rider.
I'm not sus.
Z-Man, 1064.
I'm wanted for homicide right now.
And we're joined by a special guest, Spyjack.
Hello. Nice to be here.
And Trident,
No,
I don't know
it's
where
not.
he went. I think we told him like 30 minutes after, and he just disappeared. So I think this is
What's
a
up,
come midway, because we told him the wrong time, because we started earlier than when we were supposed to. But it's still the same time that we record. I don't know. He's gonna come in maybe midway. I don't care.
It'd be like that.
So, Spyjack, good to have you on.
Yes.
I've like known your work for a very long time, actually. Before I even like publicly started talking in the community, really. So it's kind of interesting to see you. I guess like metaphorically face to face through Discord. But
Hey,
Close enough.
my icon is resemblance of my actual face, so pretty close.
all right then. Well, how would you describe yourself in what you do in Unturned?
Well, I try and create unique, like boundary pushing sort of content with my Scorpion 7 mod, my Tales of Terror mod, which is a dungeon crawler in Unturned, and another mod that I'm currently working on, which is a combination of like a turn-based strategy game and a live-action one.
Okay.
And these projects have been going on for how long exactly? Like, when were they created, and have they been consistently updated, or what's the deal with them?
Well, so I started modding Unturned back in, 2014, 15? When did it come out? Sometime around then. And I've started making maps back then, and I've worked on the Scorpion 7 map like from the beginning. And I work on that on and off. Tales of Terror, I work on that, update it every like Halloween. It's like a little Halloween project for me. But that's been...
Yeah.
I started that 2017, so it's been 4 years now I've had that guy. And this other project I have, it's been 3 years or so.
Damn. So you've been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah, surprisingly long.
He does the stuff with the mods and things, you know.
Yeah.
I push the buttons.
What made you want to go into the modding scene for Unturned?
Well, so I've been very into map making my entire life, like custom maps. I played a Lego game a long time ago that was like Crystal Alien Conflict or whatever. I used to draw maps on like grids and stuff like that for that, and then I just kept on going. Picked up Unturned and had a map editor, and I just wanted to get better and better at it.
That's interesting. So it's from a Lego game. It's kind of funny.
From one Lego game to another Lego
Well,
game.
it started before the Lego game. It was originally train tables and stuff like that.
I can relate to that to a certain degree, because there's a whole different Lego game that derivative they came from before Unturned, and some of those ideas poured over, but I won't get into that right now. So that's interesting.
So what inspired you to make Tales of Terror exactly?
All right. I'm trying to think back to that. I was playing this game called VR Dungeon Night because I have a VR headset, and I really enjoy it. And it has this mechanics where it teleports you from room to room essentially as you're going through the dungeon. And after working on Greece and Hawaii and working on the NPCs in that, I got experienced in all the ins and outs of the reward systems and all that. And I noticed that I had gotten Nelson to add a randomization number feature to the flags. And I was like, oh, well, there's also this teleport function. And so if I just randomize the room ID and then have a door model for every single possible room, I can just teleport the player to literally any room. So combining mechanics in there, I was inspired. I was like, okay, I think I can do this, and I'll make this a challenge because it was right at the start of October. I had been thinking about making some special Halloween thing or something. I was like, originally it was going to be a horror map. I had one in the plans, and I was like, oh, I can make a dungeon crawler instead. And so I was like, well, let's do it. Why not?
I was a bit confused why that was the Halloween thing, because it did seem more like an action game.
I mean, it made sense, though. It was like...
Kind of. It was a little spooky.
It was like zombies.
Yeah, the idea wasn't like scary, but it was kind of like, themey in the kind of dark and creepy atmosphere with like the dungeons and the skeletons, the zombies, the monsters.
Yeah. It made sense, but, Well, I think
So
you were the only
how
dungeon
long
crawler
did it take from start to finish?
Oh, well, a month. The whole core of the game I started like the 1st of October and finished it. I had a semi-finished product, well, basically finished product by the end of it.
Okay.
1 month?
Yeah, every year I only work on it for a month.
Damn, go off.
Damn. And what month? Do you have a set schedule for like the month that you work on, or no? Is it just like?
It's typically start in October, end at the end of October. Sometimes I go a couple weeks after, or I start a couple weeks before. I touch it here and there during the year, but the idea really is to just make it a challenge so I can knock out in a short amount of time.
I see.
I thought it was dead. I didn't even know you were still supporting it.
Yeah, well, the server that I had been running, because of Nelson's changes to the server thing, and I'm not very inept at running servers, it kind of broke, and I had no idea how to fix it. So I had to shut it down for a bit there. I'll probably bring it back up.
Give this man a server.
I don't even have my server anymore after Lime went down, so...
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah, it was in that one podcast. I saw it with the Lime stuff. That's sad.
Rip Lime.
Yeah. Well,
so is there any Tales of Terror lore?
Is there Tales of Terror lore? There's a lot of Tales of Terror lore. Is there any in the map? That's debatable.
Bro, give me the lore document and I'll make a video.
All right, bet. There are several quests.
Oh, wait, actually though, bet. Okay, just send it right now.
I don't have a written up one. Everything's always in my head for all my maps and all that. There's a ton of lore, but it's all in my head. Except for the several quests that are in the map currently that lead up to the quote-unquote big reveal for the dungeon, which has been made and was supposed to be released like almost 2 years ago, except for the fact that the boss is kind of broken due to multiplayer mechanics. It works great in single player, but not multiplayer. And I kind of refuse to release it until I can fix it. Oh, hello, Trident.
Hello, Trident, finally.
Welcome, Trident, to the podcast.
Yay. Woo.
Did we start already?
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah,
Spyjack.
we're recording right now.
Hello.
Okay. Hi. All right, I have some questions for you.
He just immediately goes into it. Hi, okay, I have some questions.
All right. Okay. First, this is a question for everyone. Does everyone have water nearby them that they can drink?
I do. Yes.
All right. See, man.
He doesn't have anything apparently.
He doesn't need water. He just needs.
I'm not sure if he even has a brain because he's not speaking.
See, man, wake up!
What's up?
Okay, hi.
What's good?
No, but anyways, how far are we? Okay, well, we're 10 minutes in, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I imagine did we start questioning you, Spyjack, about your
Tales of Terror?
Yeah.
They just started. We were talking about some of the lore stuff with it.
Oh God, I'm guessing that's all night.
Yeah.
All right.
You know me, bro.
Okay, let's see. Did you ever play Dungeons and Dragons at all?
So I've done a couple one-shot campaigns that I've been in them. I never got a DM, but I would love to do that sometime. But yeah, no, I've played it a little bit. I've always been fascinated with it. Just never really had a group to play, unfortunately. But there was a lot of inspiration with the art and all that stuff from D&D that I put into Tales of Terror.
Yeah. So like D&D kind of inspired you when it comes to Tales of Terror.
Not entirely. This got brought up briefly. There was another game called VR Dungeon Night, which is a great VR like roguelite style game, and I also just love roguelite games in general. And so that combined with D&D and just playing dungeon crawlers in general. There's also like Barony that I've played, which is a great multiplayer dungeon crawler as well. It's like hodgepodge all those guys.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love fantasy.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Which night? How's your girlfriend?
That's messed up.
That is like, damn. I didn't expect like Trident to.
That was so out of pocket.
Go like that.
I'm gonna write him a gravestone in Tales of Terror. It'll be on the map next update.
Add a gravestone for a night just now. My goodness.
Trident, it still hurts.
I'm sorry, but you suggested for me to buy World of Warcraft.
Listen, it's a good.
Maybe I'll buy it. Maybe. Do I need PayPal?
Don't buy World of Warcraft.
Man,
Well, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm gonna rent it, quote unquote.
You can rent a
fucking World of
game?
Warcraft sucks.
They probably
fuck, man.
take PayPal.
World of Warcraft sucks.
Okay,
Fuck
hold on. Okay, we're
World of
getting. Okay,
Warcraft
I'm the one that led us
sucks,
off track. I'm
man.
gonna get us back on track. Anyway,
World of Warcraft
Spyjack.
sucks.
Yes.
Thank you, Z-Man. Spyjack. So, all right, I'm literally like brewing up a question right now. This is gonna take a tiny bit of time. Okay, Unturned. There's that. I remember there's a.
Bless me.
Bless you.
You're blessed.
Bless you.
I remember there's this one part when playing that, or when playing the map, where there was this one parkour area. It's like one corridor, and you had to like, and there's like a pit, and you had to hop from
In
like
the tutorial area?
I think like not the tutorial area, but it's like the very early stage.
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah.
actual,
So
like,
the
dungeon.
first dungeon with the scarecrows, right?
It might have been, but it was like for some reason I had a very hard time on that because I kept slipping off and like just falling, so I had to restart again. It's like it was very annoying.
Yeah, someone posted the other
Very
day about
noob.
that. No, someone posted about that
Really?
the other day, and it was like, "Hey, you might need to, tweak this because Nelson changed the parkour stuff." And so I was like, "Oh, that's a good point." So I jumped on it, started testing it, and it was easier, and I beat it the first try, and then I did it again, and I beat it again. So,
Bro, you're just better.
I just felt different, dude.
The difference.
The dick.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know if that would help, but maybe with aerodynamics. But
True.
Penis.
No.
Was your
the
first,
what?
I was gonna ask, was your first iteration of like specifically Tales of Terror, was it completely different from what we see today, or is it basically the same?
So there are videos up online, obviously, like the ones that are on the store page, the mod page, are they have the very first version. It's very similar. It just lacks content and like the quality of life improvements. Stuff like the tutorial dungeon that at least lets you get your feet wet without being shoved into death.
Mm-hmm.
Still is essentially, but yeah, at least it's slightly easier. There are quests in the current version that weren't in the old version. There's rooms now. That was year 2. That was an addition. That wasn't in the first one. So there's a lot of quality of life stuff, improvements in general. There's a hoarder that you can sell items to. There's a lot of new items. There's a torch. There's the dungeon, the shrine that you can do like horde beacons at, essentially.
Well, that's
Okay.
interesting.
Interesting. How do you feel about like very popular Unturned YouTubers like covering your map?
Oh, I love it. I love anyone playing it, big, small. It doesn't matter. If I can watch you play it or listen to you play it, I love it.
That's wholesome.
That is very wholesome.
That's really wholesome.
What's the biggest
No,
criticism you had for like your maps in general? Like, what is the biggest one?
The biggest one that I've heard 1,000,001 times is it's too hard.
Really?
Give it a shoot.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes
Come
they
on.
have good points, and that's why the tutorial dungeon is a thing, because people are like, it's way too hard, and I don't know what I'm doing. So I designed a tutorial. The tutorial is actually voice acted now. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
there's nights through it. The guy who's been with me from the very beginning, he was a player who found the map and loved it, and he's my mod on my Tales of Terror Discord server. He's the only one, actually. And he has a great voice. He's from Italy and has this really, really deep voice. So the cultists in the game, there's these special cultists, boss mobs. Not boss mobs, they're just monsters. He voiced them, and they're speaking like some Italian thing. I don't actually know what they're saying. And then it's something Italian, some funky thing. Anyways, and then there's also the tutorial notes that he voiced, and he did a great job with those. He did that last year for part of the update.
Yeah.
And then this year, I might reach out to him again to see if I can get him to do some more. But I'm probably going to pay someone else to do some voice acting because I really want to get every NPC voice acted that's in the game.
That sounds kind of sexual.
Yeah,
Need voice
very.
actors?
Yeah, do you need voice actors?
I do. If anyone would like to, like to do it,
I'd jump in.
Yep, right
I'm
here.
just saying.
I'm
Hell yeah.
jumping in.
I'll even use the exact same mic I'm using.
Make
right
me
Oh,
like a
even better.
really nerdy alchemist type character or something.
Well, you can be
No,
voice
you
acting
just-
the ones already in there. So
Why waste all
Yeah.
the time trying to make a whole new NPC when you can just add a PNG of the nerd emoji?
Yeah, legit.
True.
So true. So true.
I am
I'm gonna
literally
do the same
my
thing with
character
Charles.
is a knight, so it would work.
yeah, there
Nice.
you go.
Well, yeah, both
Knight
you,
Rider.
Zima and I are like knights, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
like a crusader type of dude.
I'm
a
like
carrot.
I'm like Knight Rider, but cool.
Wrong.
Cool.
Well, somebody's got to voice the guild members. Someone's got to also voice the hoarder. I don't know if anyone here is French, but I need someone who speaks French or can do a convincing French
Bonjour.
accent.
Find somebody.
Yeah, you all better stay away from that.
Bonjour.
Oui.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, where's the French
Hey,
cosmetics?
Charlie, aren't you doing AP French right now?
I'm not. No, what?
Well, you should do it
Why would I ever
Yo.
do that?
so you can
Charles,
voice
should
act.
learn French.
No.
So you can voice
So
act
you-
like two lines.
What do you need? Do you need bonjour?
That is in there somewhere, I'm pretty sure.
Bonjour.
Just take it from the podcast once it's uploaded.
That's perfect. I'll do that exactly.
No, but
Buongiorno.
for real though, if you actually
Buongiorno.
voice actors, we'll probably be down to do it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, for
no,
sure.
I'll
Just
hit you guys up.
hell yeah, just point me at the character, give me the lines,
Give
I
him
will
the D.
say it. But make sure I have a motivation, okay? I take this seriously.
Yeah.
You better. I need a
They want some
heart-wrenching
money.
performance.
Listen, I actually want to get into voice acting, so this would actually be good.
You could
practice.
ask Doug. Doug is a voice actor.
Who is he? I don't
Oh,
know
he
who
is?
Doug is.
Unironically though.
Wait,
Unironically
in
though,
what
he is.
though?
He does, like, a
did
bit of voice
acting
acting?
classes. He does voices all the time, like as a meme, but he could actually do some stuff. He's pretty good.
Yo,
You
bet.
could ask him. If
That would
you
be
want.
awesome. Yeah, no, I'll gladly take you up on that stuff if y'all are willing to ask. I need all. It's so hard. I tried to do it last year. I also was getting the game translated into multiple languages, but anytime that you have to outsource the community, it can be very hard.
So how many people have actually helped you with specifically Tales of Terror then?
Well, I am very much a one-man team on my passion projects, other than the voice acting, which I can't really do, and the translating, because I speak some Spanish, but that's the extent of my knowledge.
What are the translations like? What languages so far?
Right now, it's just some Chinese, which isn't the best translation ever. Someone else reached out to me after the one guy reached out to me and was like, hey, looks like they just put everything through Google Translate. So,
Lol.
yeah. So, but they're thanked on the Steam page and they're thanked in the listings. And I tried to get some Italian, some Portuguese, and we got somewhere, but the people were all like, "Hey, it's taking too long. I have to do some other stuff for now. I'm sorry about it's taking so long." And then it kind of faded off. So, unfortunately, it's just Chinese and English currently.
I see. Actually, has your mod been ported to the Chinese version of Unturned or no?
I have no idea. I didn't even realize there was a specifically Chinese version of Unturned.
Yeah,
There is.
there is.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Some person probably got the whole file and just put it on there. So.
I think the guy who was doing the translation did that, actually. He was talking about it and how there was a big following for it in China as well. Or he had a good group for it, so...
You have a huge market somewhere and you don't even know.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah.
well, I can't tap into it because of how they do their business over there.
Yeah.
Witchcraft and wizardry.
Something like that, So, Tales of Terror is definitely your best made mod. But let's talk
Most
about
complete.
your
What?
most interesting one. Scorpion 7 Beta.
All right. What do you want to know about
What
it?
is that? What is Scorpion?
Yeah, can you
Uh,
explain that to me? I'm not really fully sure.
What's the lore? No.
No, what exactly
There's a ton
is
of lore in that, but
there is.
let me get the basis on this because for the unknowledgeable on this. So Scorpion 7, you all know the Unturned lore for Scorpion 7.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I saw that,
Vaguely, yeah.
and I was like, all right, this has this huge potential. It's this giant, institution or whatever of researchers, but the presence is so lacking on all the maps.
I completely agree.
So I had been playing a lot of SCP Containment Breach and games such as those, and I was like, all right, well, let's just make a giant, unique, completely underground survival map that's like a survival game. Cool. So yeah, the Scorpion 7 map, it's Scorpion 7 beta is what the Steam page is because it's still in beta, but it's Scorpion 7. It's a completely underground survival map that starts you out as a escaping test subject, and you start in like a safe zone. It's got a little tutorial area, essentially. You get some starting gear, some clothes, flashlights, stuff like that. Then you are sent out to explore the facility and, survive. And there are escape routes that aren't fully put in, but you can find where they would be, and you can find where the endings are, quote unquote. There are planned actual endings that with like actual cutscenes. They're just not in yet. And there's a lot of stuff in there. There's custom guns, multiple storylines. There's 7 or 8 different districts or whatever, segments of the facility with whole different layouts and purposes.
Yeah, there was that tram going to different areas. I thought that was cool.
There is a completely functional 2 tram lines, actually, and maps you can find all over the place. There's a posted map with lights on, and there are actual pamphlets that you can pick up, and that has all the keys to the map, so you can see which stations lead to what and all that.
All right. Yeah, I remember I got to the surface and outside, and I didn't know what to do after that, so I quit.
Was it the one right next to the start? Did you go to crop manipulation?
Yeah, it was that one. Yeah.
That's that. So that's there because there's 2 different paths when you start. You can go to the right, which leads to crop manipulation, and that gets you set up on food and basic survival. Or you can go to the left, which gets you guns and ammo, essentially. So you can choose weaponry or food.
Okay. And also, I found a scientist, and then he screamed and ran away from me, so I punched him to death.
Oh, yeah. There are scientists that are alive running around the facility. Because this is 12 hours or so. The game starts about 12, maybe 24 hours after the insurgents come and, mess everything up and complete their little mission. Actually, they don't complete their mission, but that's lore.
Oh.
Is there a true ending?
There is. Just like the SCP Containment Breach, there's Gate A and Gate B. And Gate A is not the true ending because you technically die. Spoiler alert.
Wow.
And Gate B, it's an ending. It's the correct ending, I guess, technically. It's the one that leads into actual Unturned lore, I shall say.
So is yours kind of built around a continuation forward of the lore, or is it more before the main events?
Taking the tiny little bit of Washington lore with all of that and the insurgents who attacked that place and all of that, and making it this huge thing opposed to this tiny little side note of hey, by the way, we're studying aliens, we're making railguns, and we also happen to be on every fucking country on the entire planet.
That sounds sus.
So yeah, it expands it greatly. There's notes littered around. There's an AI computer that you can physically type to in chat that's planned.
Yo, that's cool. That is a good idea.
There's also computers around the map that are going to be put in. There's another NPC reward-based thing I'm working on where you can find flash drives, and that'll get you schematics and lore bits. You have to find the unlocked computers or type in passwords, and then bam, you can access the files, maybe play Pong or something on them. We'll see.
Play Pong?
We'll see what I can do.
I wonder if that's... I mean, I don't know. There's so many unturned mods and maps where they do stuff that I didn't think was even possible to do in the game, and they end up doing it. So I wouldn't be surprised if you could make it where you can play a game in the game.
Well, I know I can make Minesweeper work. The only problem is live input actions can be a little bit difficult to do.
Is it possible to put Unturned?
I might. I'll see what I can do.
Let's see.
All right. What other stuff? There's a lot more there. I can talk about that a lot more. I can talk about the lore of that if Ryder you're interested.
Ryder only cares about this guy.
Let's see. Are you planning to make any more like dungeon crawlers in like different timelines or anything like that?
I released the mod kit for it, and I need to update that. Thanks for reminding me. So other people could make their own adventures, but I'm just keeping it to simply Tales of Terror for my dungeon crawlers. I did briefly mention, however, that I am making an RTS and / turn-based strategy combo for Unturned as well, which is another project of mine.
Mm-hmm.
How long has that been in development for?
I started it, actually, it was either before or after Tales of Terror, but I think it was that year or the next one.
After the first iteration was out?
Yeah, so it was either 2017 or 2018. I can't quite remember. And I started doing alpha tests of it with people like Danaby and all of them. They've played it. It's been a minute. But essentially, that one, it uses a lot of Horde Beacon stuff. And like you have waves and you go to your command ship. It's called Seattle Campaign. And the whole point of it is like reenacting the fall of Seattle in Unturned lore.
Well, coming.
Yo, it's pretty cool. So do you have any plans to make a curated map at some point?
Well, I did Hawaii and I did Greece, and I would love to do like an actual standalone one myself.
So you're responsible for Greece.
I did all the lore. I did all the NPCs.
You did. Okay. Yeah. Then you tell me what I got wrong in my video.
I can tell you. I was watching it actually in brief right before this. So the military group, they don't open fire on the civilians that are out there just because they're being too loud and obnoxious. It's that zombies start showing up and like there's an infected in the crowd, and so they shoot the infected. And then that causes more noise and panic and chaos. And so then everyone thinks that they're just firing on the crowd, and obviously chaos ensues. And then a little battle breaks out later and, vengeance gets,
I knew there was something fishy about that. Like, why would they fire on the crowd if they were already afraid of noise?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the Horde had already shown up, essentially, is what had happened.
I thought the Unturned virus went through the air.
That depends on your lore. Because it's a little bit different.
You're pretty sure it's bodily fluids.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
it's
too.
Probably multiple.
So what is it, like an STD? Like they'd be.
Yeah.
essentially.
You can do that too. I mean, I don't know anybody who would want to fuck a zombie though.
No.
Why would it be airborne though?
Because the zombies are so easy to kill.
I know, but then, but the bioweapon has a duration because when we're in, they're still zombies.
Yeah. And the Scorpion
bioweapon is very vague. I mean, for all we know, the zombies themselves were the bioweapon. I mean, they are biological entities that can be used as a weapon. So I mean,
no, I know, but like if you kill a zombie, your I guess vitality does not lower.
Yeah, it's when you get hit by them is when they go down.
So that lowers. And that could just be due to like random infections. You don't even turn into a zombie; you just die.
Yeah, because you're unturned.
You're immune.
Because you're unturned.
Yeah.
I literally explained this tonight. He's like, "No, it's
just for it's not just for game. I don't think we're immune as players. I think it's just for game.
Against the Lord.
But we don't turn into zombies, so.
Well, but Nelson probably can't implement that yet.
Canonically, now you technically 4 does so. It is possible in the lore for regular players to turn into zombies. And if we're going to go off that logic, technically speaking, the name of the game is called Unturned. And your character cannot be turned because you were unturned.
If this makes sense, like, you're turned, which means you're a zombie, but then you're unturned, which means you are transitioned from a zombie back into
And that's what you are. And that's what you are in the game.
Yeah, but
that's what you are in the game. You are that's what I was trying to tell Trident. That's what I was trying to tell.
I was telling you that, and you're like, no.
No, you're still wrong. I'm agreeing with Charles here, not you. Listen.
Go drink your 2-liter Mountain Dew, dude. I saw that on your Twitch stream.
I don't like Mountain Dew.
How do you know? Well, can you prove it?
How do you know?
Send us an image.
Can you prove
what?
it? Yo, drink a whole thing of Mountain Dew right now. Prove it.
No.
Prove it. Okay, I guess he can't prove it.
He can't prove it, man.
This guy needs an attorney at law now.
I just beat a kid to death in Unturned.
Good job.
Oh, well, I'm glad you put on the last bit there.
Don't you mean real life?
Unturned is real life.
Just like cut off the audio so it makes it say that he just
Unturned
beat a kid.
is my life. There's nothing else for me.
If you've seen my hours, then you'd agree.
How many hours do you actually have, Spyjack? I should have asked you that.
Oh, God. I am currently sitting at 6,317.
Damn, that's like
that's so cool. That's Hawaii right there.
That's all Hawaii.
I'm about to hit my my 2.4K requirement for Unturned.
It's okay, Spy. You have less than me. It's okay.
Oh God, how much do you have?
I think it's 7.7.
He has 10,000 in total.
7.7.
Oh
okay.
God. All right.
You have 10,000 total, don't you?
No, well, technically I have 8,000 in total because of I have another account.
Bitch, what the fuck?
Thankfully, I started to let off of Unturned and started doing other stuff. That's why my hours dropped.
Same goes here.
For a long time, every day, that's what I would play. I used to run a group, actually, in Unturned. It was called Unturned National Department of Order. And we just jump on servers and like set up little like bases and stuff like that, trading posts, and try and be a civilized little group.
I imagine that's very difficult.
It never
considering
went well.
Everyone's,
It never went well.
Except for like
once.
Everyone has been bitten in their frontal lobe because, they play Five Nights at Freddy's, so when they hop in the sunshine.
I'm actually interested. How many of you were there?
We had at least like 20 people in our peak.
And they were all jumping out at a time, at the same time?
Typically not all at the same time. We typically had like 5 people on at a time.
No, it's not that bad. I can see that.
No, it wasn't bad at all. Back when NTech had his servers, it was one of the modded maps. I forget which one it was. It was like PI plus something like that. We went to one of the islands off of the mainland, and we completely walled it off with like foundations when they were basically the Great Wall of China. And we basically had a whole base, and we'd go around, make trading posts, and we were set up.
How did that fail? I'm confused of how you said that it never went well. What made it not went well?
Then
probably players
actually set up the trading posts. We'd make like 1 or 2 trades, and then someone would come and start shooting at us. And none of us were good at PvP. Was the main problem.
I see. Because I was like, if you were building, it's kind of because in Unturned, building is broken. I'm gonna get real.
Oh yeah.
You can destroy like wooden buildables, and they're so easy to build. So I would say, how could you really fail in a situation where you literally just build mainly? And then you said PvP. I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. But
they bring the Dragon Fang and bust down the wall.
Yeah, just destroy a wooden wall and get nothing from it. I mean, yeah, but like you could just replace it in like 2 seconds. It's not that crazy. Plus, they have to work harder.
It depends if they had admin
for that too.
I don't think we had any admin abuse, thankfully.
That's interesting. Well, here's a question, Spyjack. This is a bit of a curveball. What is your relation to hexadecimal?
Hexadecimal. Oh, it's been a long time since I've heard that name.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Can we talk with him?
Who?
Hexadecimal. You probably all don't know him, but I see Spyjack has occurrences with this man. Now, I have, well, not quarrels, but I have seen him multiple times. And he's a server owner of the Hex & Co. Servers? But I'm not really sure. Actually, he did test for Russia, I think. Did he test for Russia? I think so. Spyjack, do you know this?
That he tested for Russia? I do not know.
I think,
he might have, actually.
I think he did, I'm not sure. But he was a server owner of Hex & Co. And I would fuck around on all those servers because they were completely unadmin. Like, there was no admins on there. So it was all good times and no admin abuse. Those were golden eras of like 2018 and like 19 was Hex's servers. And then I got banned on Hex's servers because I trolled a little bit too much.
He did too much trolling.
Yeah,
he did
that's
too
what
much
happened.
A little too much trolling.
Yeah, I used to talk to him a fair bit. He used to play the Scorpion 7 map. He enjoyed it. It's been so long since I've talked to him, so I kind of forgot him. That feels bad.
Feels bad.
He's just he can't even talk to me. I think he won't even talk to me. I talked to him through Germany. The last time I talked to him was on his Germany map.
Oh god.
Yeah, I was literally making fun of him. I was like, I'm back. He was like, I remember you.
Oh no, he tested Seattle campaign with me as well back in 2017.
That's clean.
Yeah, I used to talk to this guy a fair bit.
Well, that was just a bit of a curveball, just to see if you would say anything. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of stuff he's up to these days. Back then, he was cool. I don't know what he's up to now.
Probably school. I don't know. Something.
Yeah, who knows?
Y'all have no other questions? I'm just waiting for you guys to say things.
I don't want to be mean, but I didn't really know about this about you, Spy, before.
No, that's fair.
Beforehand, I didn't know. Although to be fair, I'm not like I don't really keep up to date with the modding stuff.
Well, he's an OG.
So wait, so Seattle campaign, is that still a thing, or?
Yeah, that's still a thing. I was working on it earlier. I have a video of it that I can.
Oh, so you said you were testing it in 2017.
Oh yeah, I'm still working on it,
bro. All right.
Valve.
Yeah,
timing,
you have a
bro.
video. Send it.
Hopefully, you'll be worth the wait. That's what he's doing. That's funny. No, but I guess this is like the part of the episode where we cut off from asking the questions of the main guest and we go on like random tangents about things that Unturned. Right?
Z-Man has 7,000 subs.
Oh yeah, congrats, Z-Man.
Thanks. I got that today, I think.
Today?
Hey, there you go.
Was it today? Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
I've been doing stuff. I've been doing the things. I don't know. My channel's done really good. I think I nailed the Unturned algorithm pretty good this time, I think.
You still need a long way before you can get to like sussy level stuff.
Oh yeah, but like
you're still below Zoom. I'm still waiting for that. Like you.
Nah, I don't want to. See, I don't really want to pass Zoom.
You have to though.
But I don't wanna. That's the thing.
Then you can't really say that you are the like the pinnacle and the last troller, because technically it was in succession. It was, I believe, it was G Ricky, right? And it was Chief, then Zoom, then you. Am I wrong in my statement?
Yeah, Zoom B is coming back though.
Well, you still have time to pass him. That's all you can.
He's making a vid. Nah, he's making a vid. It's gonna come out sooner than later, I think.
Wait, are there two Z people?
There's Zoom,
there's Zoom B and there's me.
Yeah.
There was Zexter.
Bro, imagine not knowing the lore of the trollers.
Dude, people didn't even know when we were discussing it like a long time ago. I think people were saying, "What the fuck are these guys talking about?" It's
well,
really sad.
I'm thinking myself.
Like even Gang Z references are kind of like obscure to some people.
Oh, Gang Z! Oh, that was back when they were playing that shit in Hawaii. That was fun to watch.
Yeah,
that's old stuff.
And that is old
really
stuff.
old.
That's like stuff that
like
people now
stuff.
don't even know about. Really, they're like, "What? What is this?"
I missed that. That wasn't like the peak of Unturned, but it kind of was.
It was
content wise.
Yeah.
Content wise, that was the peak.
It was the good SMP.
It was.
Yeah, that was like the actual Unturned SMP.
Yeah, legit. It was
like
actually really good too, because the editing. I mean, majority of the content creators were actually really good when it came to actually making content. Even the Alpha Squad
they
server,
actually would like play the game, you know.
Yeah, they would actually play the game and like, make content on it. Like unlike me, who hasn't posted in 6 months. Which
nowadays like Boom plays on fucking
P9's channel.
He plays on Twitch. Like he's like it's like dead as hell.
He played on P9's channel. What do you mean?
Yeah, I know. That's when like Big Boom kind of fell off.
What do you mean? It was still interesting to see him play again.
He fell off, man.
He
doesn't upload.
Of course, but I think it was because I think we have discussed this before, but literally because he wanted to. And again, the real MLBV that I
that's
knew.
fine. Like if he wanted to fall off like that, that's fine. I mean, he didn't like Because, you know, with some people, they'll peak, and then, like, they keep going, and then it, like, turns bad.
You know, allegation.
He just abruptly stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even blame him
it's just
either.
unfortunate. I just, you know, I don't know. Like, I try to, because my whole thing was when I was making Unturned content was, I try to, like, friendly competition until, like, you know, there was a time where it was very unfriendly competition. But, like, you know, on who can make a better video, and I can't even really do that anymore because no one else uploads.
What do you mean?
The only other person I could compare myself to today is like Knight.
Yay.
Yeah, I mean, y'all are like the core Unturned YouTubers now, other than like Nilix and.
Well, we're like the English side because there's a huge community of.
Yeah, there's a lot of Russians.
Like there's this one Turkish guy. He's been doing very well recently. I've been monitoring him because, like, I look up Unturned. This is how I find Unturned
him.
This is how I find Unturned content.
Dude, nearly 1984.
I go on YouTube and I look up Unturned, right? I look up Unturned, and then I do the filters. You can do filters on YouTube. I filter by this week and by views. And it's this like Nova TV or something like that. Noah TV. I don't know. I think it's Nova or something. He's like this Turkish guy. I just see him like he's like always like 5 videos when I look that up. There's like 5 of his videos on there because he's just been uploading like every 4 days or something. There's this Russian guy. I forget his name, but it starts with E. He's actually subscribed to me, but I haven't talked to him at all. But he is subbed to me, which is interesting. No, it's a lot of non-English. Like, I look up Unturned, like I said, like I do the filters. I don't see any English-speaking people. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just like,
yeah, you can't necessarily just watch it the same way as you used to be able to. I just can't
watch it because I don't get it. I don't know what they're saying. The content's a little different, you know.
I remember this statistic I saw, but I didn't believe it. It was like, this was back in like 2019, I think. I was looking up statistics of Unturned for, I think it was just researching something. And I saw that actually, like, I think Russia was the #1 country that was playing Unturned.
It is. No, 100%.
And
there's
then,
like, you're telling me this game has 40,000 players, yet a lot of the servers I'm on are fucking dead? Or like, there's like a whole server list of dead servers? No, I'm not seeing it because they're Russian.
Yeah, and I was looking, I remember seeing, I think America was 3rd. I'm like, really? I'm like, man.
What's 2nd? Poland?
I don't even remember, honestly. It was so long ago. All I remember is that Russia was #1 and then America was 3rd. I was like, the middle country didn't really matter to me. I was like, I don't care about that.
Wasn't there a pretty large like South American scene for this as well?
There is a pretty big community of them, yeah.
What's with all these damn foreigners up there?
I think something interesting I heard was that it's actually bad as a server owner to make your servers hosted in America because of the player base not being here, and people have had to switch over to actually using British services and then getting more players, sense. Which is interesting because I think it's because of that whole block, basically. But I'm not sure. It's interesting to think about. But they were literally telling me like it's bad decision to host servers in America now. It's better to host in like the EU, basically.
Yeah, because that's where all the player base is.
Yeah,
even the English-speaking Unturned community, they're not Americans or Canadians. Like P9, he's fucking German. Mr. Spammel's British. Nilix is British. There's no like the Americans are gone, dog. It's sad to see.
Well, America has been turned, obviously. I mean, we got Washington. We got
true.
I just think it's interesting because this game, the base game, there's a lot of most of the maps are like in the U.S.
Yeah, like Germany, in the U.S. PEI, that's the US.
They're not in the U.S. They're in Canada, you guys.
Easter Island.
Yukon, that's Germany. That's the U.S. Fuck. What other map is there?
I'm bringing it back, though. I'm bringing back American representation. That's me.
Technically, Hawaii was curated, but I don't know. Hawaii was such a long-standing map and like curated.
It was originally going to be permanent, and we were all very disappointed when it stopped.
Did you guys ever get a reason for that? Actually,
yeah. Well, so basically, something to do with like the game load times and having too many things at once.
Was that the real
and curation? That's what I heard through the grapevine. I mean, I was right up there with there, but
let me let you into the conspiracy real quick, Spy. And I believe the front was that specifically Hawaii was taking up too much space to actually load up the game, so Nelson decided
I don't fully believe it, but
that's what Nelson said. I remember seeing it because. But here's the thing. Here's a weird thing.
I gotta poop.
Before Hawaii was actually removed, Ireland was removed. And it was like 3 days to a week, I think, if I remember correctly, before Hawaii was removed. And then I remember before reading anything about what Nelson had said, there was a bunch of people saying that, do you think the Ireland people, because they had their map in the game technically, that you would be auto-subscribed to it. And they're like, do you think the Ireland team was talking to Nelson saying that, hey, why is our map getting kicked out, but this curated map, why is being continuously put, in the game? And then it was removed because of that reasoning, to stay consistent.
Yeah. And that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Liam does the game just uploaded. German.
Yeah, I saw. But I haven't actually watched the video yet. But back on the Hawaii thing real quick before we end this, we go to the next thing. Like, literally, that was like something I believed for a little bit. But I'm not sure. Nelson, I think Nelson's gonna forever say that it was space.
I think,
even though
I think you're onto something there, because right back then, the only map, and to this date, the only map that's been made with like Nelson and other people is Russia, and Russia obviously is permanently in the game. Now, Games Too Much, Mookie Too Much, and Rain, is he still around? I don't remember what happened to him. But basically, they all helped on Russia as well, right? And so I think Nelson trusted us enough to actually make good content for it, because they had worked with him. And so originally, Hawaiian Spyjack was going to stay in the game permanently. But then it became very apparent that lots of people wanted to get on it in the curated system, and what we had set up was not a very permanent solution, because we can't just add new maps. I don't know why we didn't go the DLC route. I guess there's probably a lot more like logistics to that would have been annoying, but the workshop works well and gives control, because back in the day, and this is why
I just took a poop.
Welcome back.
Bro.
The reason like Greece and Hawaii didn't get updated nearly as much like after they got released is because we don't have the control to just press upload on the workshop anymore.
I see.
Damn.
Well, here's a deeper conspiracy. Was the whole purpose of that to give Nelson a reason to kick Hawaii out? Because technically he was breaking the rules on a lot of things. I believe someone was gonna say something like,
I made
Hawaii
a video about Hawaii.
Yeah, Zoe and Z-Man have talked about it on 2 different videos, which is interesting.
I made a video with SOE actually.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And it's kind of weird too.
Did I flush my shit?
Oh my god.
It's kind of weird too, because I remember.
I want to make sure I flush.
Shut the fuck up, Z-Man. Literally.
I remember there was drama on the team and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did. We're good.
But
I was just worried,
I don't want to
I took a big
bring it up.
Shit,
it's all good. You don't need to bring it up.
My
if you don't want
God.
to. Z-Man's just ruining everything.
I like how I'm talking about my shit.
We're trying to have a discussion here.
It's a good mood lightener. I like this.
This guy.
I'm lightening the mood. Yeah, I made I don't know if you saw it. I made a video about Hawaii a while ago.
I probably did watch it. I just don't remember what I've watched and have not watched.
Did you quit plugging your videos?
You didn't make the map. You just did the NPCs, right?
So on Hawaii, I helped with map design, but Games Too Much was the main person who placed every object and all that.
So
we all discussed it. He made the map. That's what I'm going to say. Okay. He placed every object just about.
So he fucked it up because he put so many compound objects and it lagged the game.
He really liked compound objects, and if you've ever seen his map, what is it, Pine something? I forget what it's been a minute. It's some map that he made. It was really well done, but he has a ton of compound objects. But he joined the modding scene back when compound objects was really what you had to do because there weren't that many objects and no one really knew how to make them. So I'm sure that old habits died hard, and he just enjoyed doing it because you get really creative. Looking back even now, there's obviously a lot of things that would have been good to do differently, but it was a really great experience. And honestly, I mean, it was a fun map. You know, it needed some work here and there. It needed some updates. Definitely in the beginning, there was like day one patches with like the balancing because like everyone had grizzlies and you could fly the planes into the lava and survive. And
you could have walked into the volcano. Literally, I literally done that like 3 times on 3 different nights. I even have a video on my channel that you can make a little storage area with lockers, which is kind of fun.
Oh, I think I might have seen that before, actually.
Yeah. And it was, I also remember that on day 1, you could have, like, walked to the waterfall, and I think there was a hole in the ground, and people could just fall through. I think that was a thing, too, on day 1. Hawaii was a big, fun map. It was pretty big too. It was like in promotional. It was a large map. In like in the promotional for Unturned, I think in the word, I don't know where, but in the wording of Unturned, it shows like every letter has like a map, like it's PEI, Washington, Yukon, and then there's Hawaii in one of the letters, and Hawaii is no longer a map in the game technically. It's technically workshop.
Yeah, that's true.
It needed to be in the oven a little longer, and Greece did as well. In my personal opinion, and being on the dev team, it always personally felt like it was rushed a little bit more than it should have been. But, you know, there's a timeline, and that's how things go. But, you know, back when I was, 17? 2017 or so. Yeah, I was very much like, why are we doing it like this? You know, come on, guys, we need more time. What's going on?
Spy, did you?
And we definitely needed more playtesting. We definitely needed more playtesting.
Spy, did you ever tell them why is it so bright?
It didn't bother my computer monitor at all. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. It was
so bright. Okay, so one thing I want to confirm, because this was a rumor, I don't know if it's true. Was it true, like, Games 5 Much or whatever the fuck his name is? Or their name
Games
is,
Too Much?
There's 2 of them. Is it true that his monitor was on some weird setting and that's why the map looked like that?
I wouldn't be surprised, but I also played the map, and I personally very much enjoyed the very bright beating sun.
Huh.
Did you feel your eyes?
I mean, to each his own.
It didn't hurt my eyes at all, so my monitor might have been a little bit broken as well.
Everyone's monitors are broken.
Because that was a rumor. There was a rumor that the reason the
I've
was
heard
that way
the rumor.
Was because of that.
We were playing on it, and it was just very bright. I don't think I played with Bloom. He might have also not played with Bloom. I don't remember.
Because if you play with Bloom, it's all fucked.
Yeah, you literally burn your eyes. It's actually ridiculous. That map is ridiculous when it comes to 2 things. Like, the best part is when it's nighttime or, like, dusk. So...
Well, you know, part of the idea there, maybe not well executed, at least in my mind, is that it's a hot and bright, you know, environment. So that reflects it, but it reflects it so well that you get sun blindness or sand blindness or whatever it is called.
Well, they have some a lot of interesting concepts to it. I mean, there's like, I think was it the first map to use boats on the outside of the map?
Yeah.
I remember, I think it's probably not, but it was the main one that probably brought it to the main scene because I think that was the first map I saw where there was boats on the outside you can go loot. Really?
The whole concept, like one of the main core concepts and stuff that I constantly pitched with G2M and all of them was that, hey, I want to focus on water exploration because that's not something that has been done in Unturned. Originally, my concepts for it was the several different islands. Like, it wasn't just the main island. But we were too worried about not having enough land mass. So we stuck to just the main Hawaii island. And there was still plenty of areas for water exploration, such as the boats, the cruise ship, which was a lot of fun to make. There was the secret Scorpion 7, or I don't think it was Scorpion 7. there was the underground water facility at the one place, and then we had like
what is up with that? What is up with that? The Holokai Harbor.
Oh, with the secret facility. It was just the research. Oh god, it's been so long. Aegis, is that what they're called?
Yes.
That was Aegis. I thought it was just random companies.
No, it's their.
What's the lore with that? Are they like an off branch of Scorpion 7 or something?
No, Aegis is a different
they're
company.
a rival pharmaceutical company.
Pharmaceutical.
Yeah, thank you. Based in Hawaii and places like that, and they like took over the island.
And whatnot.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've looked at all of that. Games Too Much and Mookie did a lot of the lore on that map. I didn't really touch it. I didn't even really touch the NPCs on it. I did, however, do the coalition quests with that like off branch. Basically, I got my own little story offshoot, and I just took it, and that's what I did on that map. Other than all the buildings and arts.
I see.
Okay,
that's interesting. No, Hawaii was an interesting map and did bring a couple concepts. Did you make the two? Was it Hawaii that had the raft buildable too? Like the actual like.
Oh yeah. All the vehicles on that were all done by Rain.
The buildable vehicles were pretty cool. I mean, we don't really see that concept anymore. It's just like really the makeshift vehicles and the main.
Reign of Pain 125.
I think
is that his full name? Oh shoot, I forgot.
No, I don't. No, is it? I don't think so.
It might be a different Rain. I don't even know.
I think he just went by Rain.
I'm not sure.
It feels bad that I don't remember all these specifics anymore, but it's been so long.
Nah, it's all good. I'm trying to think of other things to say, but it's not really much. I mean, I think we got through the main ideas of what you've been doing and what you have done for the game as a whole.
Yeah.
Actually, Spyjack, I'll ask you this because this is more of an us question. How did you figure out any of us? Did you figure out any of us before we asked you to be on the podcast, or were you just like, who the hell are these guys and why are they asking me to do this?
All right. Well, I probably have to look at your YouTube channels to like double check it. But I have seen the Night Riders videos. I've seen some of Z-Man's videos. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm very like if there's ever a video about anything I've ever made, I'm going to watch it.
So you've probably seen the Hawaii video then.
I've seen the Hawaii video. I'm 100% sure I have.
I've not done a video on Hawaii, so
I've probably seen it as well, actually. But it's been a minute. But yeah, so I've seen those. I've seen Night Riders lore videos, which I'm probably the most familiar with his content.
Yo, let's go.
That makes sense.
Just because it's lore, and I remember specifically looking for Greece lore because I spent a lot of time writing up lore for that. Because that entire lore I did, and I did the whole NPC system.
Lol, this is the guy behind Greece lore. Okay.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
What about
it was all me taking it and running. But what up?
What about my content?
Let me look at your YouTube
He's never
channel
seen
again.
you try it.
No, I'm 100% sure I have.
I'm not even gonna be mad because I don't even upload, so I'm not even surprised if you don't even know me.
I'm trying to get the ball rolling again, but still.
Yeah,
sucks.
Man, you gotta make content.
I gotta be more consistent. But I'm kind of addicted
already
to WoW right now.
Get out of here.
Oh yeah, no, I have definitely seen some of this stuff. It's been a hot minute though. I took a long break from Unturned for a good bit there. So anyone really within the last 2 years, I don't know much about because I've transitioned over to stuff like Project Zomboid and working on my own projects and stuff like that, and then I just come back to Unturned here and there.
That's interesting. Well, I think there's like a couple things before we end the episode that we should probably talk about before we end this week's episode.
Should we talk about my homicide thing?
Yes, I wanted to get into that.
What?
You wanted to talk about that?
Oh,
okay.
No.
Okay, so yeah, you want to talk about that? Yeah, and then just like
yeah, let's go.
You're the one that made the video. You're the most recent one, and that was to talk about Trident video.
Oh yeah, I made a video recently where why are you laughing, man?
Because you can't just like say like okay, yes.
Okay, I made a so Everyone knows, but I'm gonna bring it up. This is interesting because I don't know if Spyjack knows about this. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. But there was a well, obviously you guys know about the devlog. Nelson made a devlog about he's postponing Unturned 2 development because he's like going to therapy and stuff. Hope the guy gets through whatever he's going through right now.
Absolutely.
Of course, yeah.
It's pretty rough. I've never gone to therapy, but I got some experience with stuff like that, so I understand kind of what he's going through a little bit, probably more than Spammel. Spammel made a video, as he does anytime there's anything related to Unturned 2 or anything Unturned related that'll get him views. He comes back. He comes out of his hidey hole.
And the thing is that that's all right. That's completely fine. But the thing is, he didn't focus on the main main
point of the dev.
Yeah, and that's what I talked about in my vid. That's why I was like, "Goddamn Spammel." Really?
Yeah, so Spammel made a video about it, because views, and he did not talk at all about the mental health stuff. He just he was just kind of complaining about how Unturned 2 is canceled, even though it's not canceled. Nelson never said it was canceled. He just said it was postponed, but he just did that. He just kind of clickbaited the fuck out of it. And it was a bad video, and it was so bad that I had people that usually don't like getting involved in my drama shit tell me that it was bad and that I should well, they didn't say I should make a video. They were just telling me it was bad, and I agreed. And I was like, okay, I'll make a video. And then I told Spammel. We had a whole conversation. He made no sense. And then I told him in the conversation, stop making garbage.
Uh-oh.
Get good. Please get good. Funny, and then I made my video. Now his video, it's Spammel's video is now, I think, officially the second most disliked Unturned video of all time.
Can't see the dislikes.
In terms of, well, use return.youtube-dislike.com. It's a plugin where you can see dislikes. His video has 600 dislikes. I mean, it's not the most disliked Unturned video. I think that's that Crux video, but
wait, what Crux video?
There was a Crux video a long time ago where he some kid said, I don't know why it has so many dislikes, but it's it's got 1.4 million views. And it has 4,000 dislikes, and it's him just playing the game, and some kids this is my server, I'm getting you banned, when he's playing on his server, which is kind of funny.
No. What the heck?
But yeah, I think in terms of a dislike ratio, Spammel's is the worst one I've ever seen. 600 dislikes to 500 likes. It's almost 700 dislikes now.
It was crazy to think
everybody hated that video that he made.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Everybody
I even made a video on it, which I usually don't.
Trident made a video.
I'm pretty neutral about Spammel, and I'm pretty sure anything I had that's Spammel's done for. But why do you want to interact with someone who really cares about the actual gaming scene? And not Nelson. Because legit, without Nelson, there's no Unturned 2. There's nothing.
Yeah, no, he's the sole developer, just about, other than some curated teams
once
here
he's
and
gone,
there.
Actually, wait. Why don't we talk about that? What happens if... Wait, I felt like we talked about if Nelson dies, what happened?
Nah.
What the fuck?
Let's not get into that. Let's not get into that. Hold on, let me talk about the Spammel video real quick.
Just say Nelson dies.
It is an honest question, though. But
No.
We'll talk about it some other time.
Hold on.
No, we have to talk about it.
Not right now. Let me finish this. Okay. You know what the fuck part about that whole video was that before Z-Man's video actually dropped, it had no dislikes on it.
No, it didn't. I mean, it did. It had 30 something,
was it 30?
Which is a lot for a Spammel video.
Well, yeah, but yeah, even that, and you read some of the comments, and it was what the fuck?
No, it's that's why the whole reason I made the video is because I knew he made that video, and his little viewer audience, his little kid audience, because his audience is just children. That's how he has 40,000 subs. Because I've talked to so many people in the community, actually respectable people, not little kids, right? Mm-hmm. And I talked to them, they're all oh yeah, he's kind of mid, or his videos suck. That's a general consensus with Spammel. It's clickbait garbage. The guy doesn't give a fuck about anything. He just wants views, and that's like the main consensus.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
I believe it.
I knew what Mr. Spammel was doing because he originally had the title like
it was
Unturned 2 canceled.
Unturned 2 is canceled, and then
he later changed it to postponed.
Can I actually talk about the title for a second? He changed it 4 times. He was desperately going into damage control. He made a pinned comment, like saying some stuff, and he was like, in the comment, he said something along the lines of, some people have said that the title was wrong, so I changed it. And then I replied to it saying, quote, some people, bro, we all know you're talking about me, dog, because I was the only person that made a video at the time. And then he, my reply to his pinned comment on his video got more likes than his, which was funny. He deleted the comment. He deleted.
Yeah, I was about to say, I just clicked on the video. It's not there anymore.
No, he deleted it. So he had it as canceled. He changed it to postponed. Then he changed it back to canceled. But it was like he put a question mark after canceled. I think he was trying to like, because I made an argument about using a question mark in my video, and
yeah, I remember that.
He was like, okay, I'll do that. It didn't work.
Well, it was like your video was more of a question beforehand because there was really no update news as opposed.
Then he changed it back to postponed. He changed it 4 times.
You should have taken screenshots, bro. Honestly,
I did.
Like for every single time frame that he did.
Oh, every time I should have. You're right.
That's what I was saying. Because
he did change it he changed it 4 times in a row.
It would have been funny.
His description, he never changed it.
Is it still like, oh, Unturned is canceled?
Yeah, it's like, and in the video they say it. They're like, Unturned 2 is probably canceled. Like, they give this like feeling of no hope and like,
they're
oh,
like
it's so
crying.
sad we're not gonna be able to make content.
They're like about to cry.
Like, they're just bitching and moaning, and it's like annoying as fuck. And like that's what Spammo has always done with Unturned 2, but no one has really hated him that much for it, just because, well, he's not really doing anything wrong. But this time he fucked up to a point where it was like everybody was like, no,
because so I imagine Spammo had better ties to Nelson than any of us, or at least
I doubt it, but
like he did a lot of podcasts and stuff, and like he has like a pretty high sub count. Like I imagine he had a connection to Nelson. Like he was slightly more known to Nelson than us. So I imagine Nelson he might have seen that bit. I'm not too sure, but I imagine it kind of sucks when someone's trying to rush you, even though you're trying to fix yourself or resolve yourself.
It was just it was a poorly made video, and you can see that Spammo fell off because he uploaded his video on a Sunday, which is a good day to upload. His video has like 7,000 views right now. My video I uploaded on Tuesday, 2 days after his video. Right now, it's like, I think it just hit 10,000 views. He fell off. Like, he fell off. Guy has 40k subs, so he can, like, barely hit 10k each video. Like, it's very obvious that, like, no one, like, actually that has, like, more than 2 brain cells watches this guy. Like, come on, let's get real. Like, it's just, like, watered-down kids content, basically, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's kind of
that and he's British. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Oh no.
No, but
that he's British. I mean,
oh
come
dear.
On. I kind of always I always kind of know that Spammo was kind of sus. I mean, even on the
sus.
the witness
emergency
episode,
meeting, guys.
Where like they questioned us like on why do we hate Spammo, and it was mainly because of the deals with Brad, but at the same time, personally, I don't like saying hunches, but there are certain people that if you just like listen to or go like look at their actions and look at what they do when it comes to things that happen around them, you can pretty much get like a sort of idea of what could happen with them, and either you want to associate with them or not. And when it comes to being like someone that's like friendly with, I don't think I would want to be friendly with Spammo. And again, with this video that he released was basically the biggest concrete example of how he just went about a situation that was, for most people, everybody cared about more so Nelson than anything about 4, because
no one gives a fuck about 4.
No one really cares about 4.
I was more excited to hear that 3.0 is going to get better development than anything.
Yeah. literally. I even said that in the last episode too. People were happy that Nelson was back in 3 and not working on 4 anymore. Because, again, the only people that cared about 4 are the same people that literally look forward to the next COD game after they play it for 2 hours, like the new one that came out for 2 hours. So I'm not really surprised that the majority of the general fan base of Unturned was happy that 3 is still getting developed, because for the longest time, most of us have been playing 3 and have enjoyed 3.
I mean, to be fair, the next Modern Warfare looks pretty
shut
cool.
The hell up, bro. I don't want to hear this cringe,
bro.
Everybody listening right now, if you buy COD games, stop buying.
If you buy any AAA company games, you are like an actual like loser. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. Like, you suck.
AAA games aren't as good as like indie developed games.
Exactly.
That's just the
and
truth.
I will stand by that. The last actual good AAA game that existed, I believe.
I don't know. I heard Elden Ring is good.
Elden Ring is good.
For me, it was Civ 6, but
isn't that like a
Skyrim? I was gonna say Fire Axis is pretty reliable.
Civ 6 was probably the last pretty good game I've played, and I have a lot of hours on that game. But then again, most AAA titles suck, and they're just like basically the same game with slightly different things added to them. So. Indie devs are just way better. They're way better when it comes to making games. Because here's the thing that I was gonna talk about too. Literally, people were saying in Spammel's comment section, "Why can't Nelson just get more developers?" And I'm getting sick and tired of this. But we all want this,
right? That's such a dumb argument.
The
guy clearly doesn't want more developers.
Well, here's the thing. There's two reasons I can immediately throw back at that answer, which is we already seen what happens when other people come into Unturned and fuck with it. We get the console edition, and we all know how bad that turned out to be. And here's the more clear answer that also corresponds to that, is literally Nelson, it's his child, it's his thing. And I think if you get more people to work on his thing, it's no longer going to be his thing. Like, the reason why Unturned, I think this is so successful, is because Nelson is only one guy too. And I think people... and he's made it so that the majority of the community that he's built up, can also build off the game himself. It's mainly ever since I think 2017, after that year, it's mainly been community that's been taking over this game. And besides the updates that do help out with the community or do add something new, like the bounce charge, or new mechanics like that have imported from 4, which is also good because a lot of more people are getting more creative when it comes to like item stuff now, like rocket jumping. That was fucking cool to see in Unturned. It's so nice to see stuff like that from like Quake and TF2 come into the game, which is interesting. But it's so saddening to me that people still kind of believe that Nelson really does need more people. He really doesn't. The community carries itself at this point. And I think he said this.
It's like what you said, Charles. Like, what happened when we did that before?
Literally, we got the console.
What happened when when he let other developers develop his game? We got 4.0. They fucked it up, made it a shit game. They fucked up Elver somehow, the best map in the game, practically.
You can get the
no, it's a joke. That
oh
is
god, how did the console Elver port go? I haven't.
It was really bad.
It was buggy
it's not great.
See, Unturned console, for some reason, they made their own art style. I don't know fucking why. It's like this weird art style. When they ported Elver, they didn't apply their art style. It was just Elver, like literally just copy-pasted. But it was weird because some of the models had the art style of console, like the rounded edges, and some didn't.
The trees and the clouds, too.
It was so weird.
It was horrible.
And also, like...
505 is like the worst game publisher I've ever seen because of how they fucked this.
On top of this,
it's sad because they did make Terraria Mold Bomb pretty decent.
On top of this, I think the biggest example of Unturned's console's failure is when seasoned, old content creators. I'm gonna bring up MLBB for this because this is the biggest example that I saw. Was when MLBB was playing on a single player console. He built a house by his sign outside of Seattle. He exited and closed the game and played it the next day. His whole base was gone due to the fact because you weren't able to save single player like data on day one. Data on single player did not save, and his whole base got deleted after he left. And he didn't know that. To think that was at all acceptable for our game by a publisher or like
gross.
People that made this game is crazy and downright wrong. Like I hate this model that like the bugs will get fixed later on. Like make games that actually work. Don't make this shit that we'd have to deal with later on, and then we get like some of the worst things that come out of it. It's so horrible, and that's what we probably would get if new developers come into the scene. I'm not saying that if new developers were to come in, they would do that. But I'm saying it is a possibility, and we have seen it in our own scene. So at this point, I'm not even against Nelson when he says that I'm going to do it solo, because we've seen it firsthand. What happens when other people touch our game? Literally fucks it up.
It fucks the game.
Fucks it up and ruins a whole entire market for us. So
yeah, like console could have like been a resurgence in players for Unturned or YouTube or whatever the fuck, right? But they fucked it so bad that nobody cared when it launched. No one gave a fuck.
Isn't it purely perspective because they just saw it as like a cash cow sort of?
And also the price tag too.
So hold on, I have something to say on this because I'm not going to go too into depth on this because I don't think I can. However, Unturned Console Edition was riddled with some mishaps and misfortunes here and there, including a company going bankrupt and transitioned to a different company porting it. So there were definitely issues that came along, and I don't know what happened in the specifics when, because I stopped doing contract work in that time span. However, this wasn't the first port of Unturned that got started.
Interesting bit of lore.
So the console edition we have right now is not the original console edition, and I don't know if the original would have been better. However, I do know that it's different.
Well,
I didn't know that.
Well, here's the thing. I think we talked about this night that we would get a console edition employee to talk about this.
Yeah.
Or a developer.
I low-key am a console edition employee, not for the current version.
I was going to get something from Cradle because they just took over the game. So
really?
I was going to ask them eventually. But we'll see. Because they got the new group because what was it, Fun Lab? I don't remember. It was a Fun Lab that was taking over taking over. But anyway, the old publisher sucked, and basically they were like, all right, you guys can't handle Unturned, and they just gave it to Cradle. So, which is another...
Hopefully they fix it.
So yeah, hopefully
that would be great. I would love to see it.
I hope they fix it.
Please.
But yeah, no. Spamel has said that multiple times. Oh, no, so should just get more developers. And like, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I think I've maybe have said that a few times, but like that was before I knew like how any of this stuff worked. So like, I know now that that's like not a good idea, especially after console. That's when I was saying that. I was saying, oh, Notion maybe should hire more people before console. I think that's when I was saying it. After console, I'm like, yeah, no, never mind.
I think we've all said it. I'm not saying that I never said that.
I think everyone's thought it at one.
Yeah, I've thought about it before,
but it wouldn't work. Now we see it wouldn't work, especially because the code is kind of spaghetti, from what I understand.
The unique and original nature of the code.
Yeah,
but Nelson's trying to like organize it and fix it up so that more changes and more things can be possible.
Yep.
Which I think is pretty good because he said didn't he say he rushed Unturned 3 when he was younger?
Well, yeah, he did talk about it in an interview that, like, I think they asked him about his code. Like, you ever look back at your code and, like, wonder what the hell are you doing? He's like, all the time. I'm like, what? I used to do this? So, I mean, I'm not surprised. But, yeah, I mean, it's the biggest example of, again, more developers coming in and working on Unturned, and it really basically flopping. I know it was, like, a port, but still, it's like, They made changes that were unnecessary, like the trees and the clouds.
They had to like recode the entire game.
Well, that too.
Not exactly,
I think, right?
Yeah, because they had to completely change engines, I'd assume, or at least do something to optimize it and change functions and all that stuff. And also, there's the whole process of getting stuff submitted to any console. Is like it takes months in advance, so you can't make changes, instantaneously either. Once it's out there, there's a lot of.
Well, it wasn't a physical copy; it was all online. Which is kind of sad, because I would have bought a physical copy of Unturned.
Yeah, I would have put that on my shelf.
Yeah, that would have been epic.
Oh, yeah.
But we didn't get that, sadly. But I think that's the main points.
Not the case.
I think, does anyone else have anything else to say before we end this episode? Because we're like an hour and 20 minutes in.
No.
I don't.
I don't got anything right now. I don't think.
I'm all good. I appreciate being here, though. This has been awesome.
Yeah, no.
No problem.
All right then. Well, yeah. Again, Spyjack, thanks for coming out. I think you're one of the most well known. I think from majority of the old kind of content scene before Elver, because Tales of Terra was such a big thing for you. And I remember I was playing that shit for 10 hours straight once. And I was fucking just.
Oh my god!
I remember going to the same room 3 times, bro. I remember going to the same room 3 times. I got so mad. I was like, "Can I get something new?" And I just kept going back. And it was the parkour course. It wasn't the actual a room you can walk through. It was the parkour, and I was so mad. I was like, "Please give me something to do." And I went back, and I'm like, "Oh." Yeah, it was very sad. But I do remember those. It's fond memories. All right then. But since we're coming to the end of this episode, this concludes another episode of the Unturned podcast. I'm your host, cucuycharles, and take care.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Take care, all of you.
Bye bye.